Hi all, good morning. This is Saf here. I'm back again with one more interview scenario. And this is the interview scenario which I faced in my last interview with Tech Mahindra. So the question was asked to me was loading number of records in every run. So how the scenario goes is, let's take an example. In my source, I have 20 records, and in the first run, I want to load my first 5 records. In the second run, I want to load my first 10 records. In the third run, I want to load my first 15 records, and so on. So this was the scenario which was asked to me. So we'll implement this. And so when I came back after the interview, and now when I started to prepare a video for it, I thought on it and came up with one scenario, and it goes like this. Same set of records, 20 records. So in the first run, I will load my first 5 records. But in my second run, in spite of loading all my 10 records, first 10 records, I would load only the next 5 records. And in the third run, 11 to 15 and so on. Let's try to see both of the scenarios. What I've done is I've imported my source and target structures. Now let's create a mapping parameter and variable. I guess I've already created a mapping variable with the name of, let's say, get count. What I'll do is I'll take a count from somewhere. I'll tell you where. Now what I'll do is I'll create a transformation called expression, and in this expression I'll create a sequence. Okay, so bring in all the ports, come over here. You know how to create a sequence. Let's do that. This one. And why did I do that? Let's copy and paste. Let's save some time. Manual error would be less. This would be an output port, and remove this. Okay, so my sequence number are being generated. Let's create a transformation called filter, because I need to load only first 5, first 10 and so on. So load records, whatever. Let's come over here and bring in all the ports, and from here this will go over here and the sequence number will go over here. Let's go to my filter transformation. Let's go over here, and what I'll do is, so the port, so O sequence number, so that would be less than equal to my it should have been not mapping, because variable that will give me a problem. What I'll do is I'll just change it to a parameter. I'll make it a constant because I don't want to change the value again and again. So let's come over here. Let's come to the properties, and let's come to the variables now. So I'm done with the preparation of my mapping. Mapping is valid. Okay, so what I need to do is, so in this workflow, what I'll do is I'll create a task called assignment, node HTML, and let's say uh, count. Now what I'll do is I'll come over here. Let's link this. Let's link this. Let's create a workflow variable over here, and let's name this as workflow variable, and let's name this as, let's say, count. Give a type, data type as stable, and make it as persistent. Okay, so the first job is done. Let's come over here, go to the expression tab, and let's increment that. Let's come over here. For the first time, this will have a value called 0, 0 plus 5. So first 5 records. So these 5 records needs to be passed to my mapping. So I'll come over here. So let me check my source and target connections. Yes, they are in place. So I need to pass those 5 records, 5 counts. So I'll do pre-session variable assignment. So this is the thing, and I would be passing this to. Okay, so this is not being refreshed. So what I need to do is I need to refresh this, because we have changed the mapping variable to mapping parameter, and that name was not reflecting. Hopefully it should reflect now. Yes, can you see? So count and get count. so the name is reflecting. Apply these changes and let's say okay. So done with it, save this and let's start the workflow. So this is getting executed. So if you'll see, so 20 records have been read and 5 records have been loaded. So let's go over here. So if you'll see, I have loaded first 5 records. Now if I run this again, so I will load first 10 records. So this is running on again. So if you'll see, so let's come over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's come over here and let's execute this again. So this is first 10 records. Now if I'll run again, so it will load 15, and if I'll run again, it will load 20. So this is done. So the first one is done. Now coming to the second scenario which I thought of. Now let's take an example. In the first run I've already run 5 run. So I've run the second time, so I've already have my 10 records. Now if I run for the third time, I should get my 11 to 15. That is what my expectation is in this scenario. So let's do a small code change. Let's come to the properties tab. Let's comment out this, or and I'll just write one more and clause, and what I'll do is o sequence greater than my mapping parameter and -5. Let's do okay. Let's do okay. Let's save this and let's refresh the changes and re-execute for the third time. So this is getting executed. So executed. So now it you see earlier there were 10 records which were loaded. Now we have changed the condition. So now 5 records. Let's see but which 5 records. So if you'll see first 10 records. Now I will execute this query. So can you see 11 to 15? So that is what the expectation was. So I ran this for the first time over here. So first to 5 for the first time, second time 1 to 10, and if I ran for the third time I came to this scenario. So I got my 11 to 15, and if I run this again, so it should load me 16 to 20. So let's see. Yes, 5 records, but let's see what are the result sets, because that is important. Beautiful. So 16 to 20. So we are done with both the scenarios. I hope you might like this videos, and if you like this videos, do give a like on it and subscribe to my videos and pass on this YouTube links to your friends so that they can benefit this in the perspective of interview. And if by chance this scenario is asked, they or you might be able to answer them. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I will be back again with some more YouTube tutorials. It's 4 o'clock. It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. So this is Saif signing off from this tutorial. See you soon again. Thanking you and have a nice time.